Hi, this is Mohit Mehta, and I'm going to be teaching you the basics of learning the guitar. I'm going to start from the very beginner's level. I'm going to assume you know nothing about the guitar, and provided that, uh, we'll start taking steps towards teaching you something and enjoying yourself on the guitar. This has been requested by one of my best buddies. His name is Jainil Trivedi. This one is for you, Jainil. Okay. With that out of way, uh, I'll introduce you to the different parts of the guitar. If you're going to learn the guitar, it's very important you know what you are learning. And if I'm going to be referring to something in the future lessons, it's very important that you understand what I'm referring to. So we'll start getting to know your guitar. Any guitar basically consists of the parts that I'm going to describe to you. So just keep that in mind. Okay, this is my guitar. I love it, by the way. The parts of the guitar are as follows. This is the body of the guitar. This is the neck, also known as the fretboard, and this is the headstock. Now this is the sound hole, which gives out the sound when the strings are vibrated. That's the sound. It is where the sound that you hear when a guitar is played comes from. This is the fretboard, which is used for fretting, and these are the strings. These are the tuners, and this is your bridge, and so on. But the very basics is like you should know that this is the body, this is the fretboard or the neck, and this is the head. With that out of way, I'll introduce you to the strings. A normal acoustic guitar would consist of six strings, which are usually in this order: E, B, G, D, A. Okay, in case any of this sounds like rent, I'll just explain. The six strings are numbered their way from down to up. So this is your first string, this is your second string, this is your third string, fourth string, fifth string, and sixth string. I had rather not go into the music theory right now to explain to you what notes and the notations mean, but for now let's just remember that when you play an open first string, the note that you are playing on a normal tuning is E. The second string gives out B, E, B, G, D, A, E, and so on. So that's it. Your guitar tuning should be E, B, G, D, A, E. If you are really looking forward to learning the guitar, then I had suggest you invest in a digital tuner. But if you are not sure of yourself, then for beginners, you can get it tuned from someone you know who plays the guitar, and that should be it. The second basic thing that a lot of people ask me is how should you hold the guitar? Now this is a very personal question, and there's no perfect answer to it, because each one has his own style of playing. For example, I have a friend who droops on his guitar like his girlfriend. So but basically the main idea is like you should be able to relax while playing the guitar. I mean, you should be comfortable playing your own stuff, isn't it? So that's the basic idea. For a right-handed player, the guitar will usually rest on his right leg like this, and so that his and the right hand or the strumming hand will rest somewhere around the upper part of the body of the guitar like this. So that's almost about it on holding the guitar. You can practice, experiment around with different styles of holding the guitar and find out one that is most comfortable for you. Some people play it like this, and then there are some that use the opposite principle, as in a right-handed guitarist places his guitar on his left leg like this, which is more famously known as the classical style of playing the guitar. Of course, I'm not comfortable with it, so I rather put it more commonly, as I may put it, like this. Okay, so now we know the basic parts of the guitar, and you are acquainted with the strings and their tunings. What comes next is I just introduce you to the fretboard. Now this is a guitar fretboard. On most guitars it consists, it goes till let's say 18 frets. These are the In case any of this sounds right, let's start from the very beginning. There are metal ridges or strips, as you can see. These define particular spaces between them, which are known as frets. So for example, in my guitar, this is the first fret, this is the second fret, this is the third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret, and so on. So when I am referring to the, so if I say that play the first string on the first fret, you're supposed to put your you're supposed to put a finger on the at this point. Okay, I hope you're getting my point. So it's not that difficult as it sounds, but and you'll get acquainted to it with in time, and hopefully it will get easier. Okay, so now that we have got the basics and the introductions out of way, I suggest we start learning the real thing. Let's have some fun. Okay, so there are some before starting to learn, I had want you to know the difference between the two basic styles of picking the guitar strings. The two basic styles are, some people like to play with a pick. The pick is just a triangular piece of plastic or even metal or anything basically that is used to play the guitar. A famous guitarist I know used to play with a 50-cent coin. So it's pretty much a question of personal opinion, but this is one style of picking, yes. It's called pick based picking, and the second style is finger style picking, which is self-explanatory. For if you're going to learn with me, then I'll be basically teaching you how to play finger style. Of course, agreed that pick style is a little more easier to learn for the beginners, but I personally don't prefer it because the pick, when played with, gives off a particular sound of its own, which is not desirable, or not desirable actually, but it's like I don't like it, so I play with my fingers, that's it. But you can try with your pick as well, because the rhythms I'm going to teach you and the chords I'm going to teach you, they don't change whether you play finger style or with a pick. With that out of way, I'll introduce you to your first chord, which is very easy to play. The name of the chord is A minor. Keep that in mind, the chord is A minor, and you are supposed to fret it like this. You place your first finger on the second string. Now remember how I told the strings in guitar in the opposite order. They go from down to up. So this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth string. So when I say fret the second string, I am actually meaning to the first fret of the second string. I am meaning I want you to put your first finger on the first fret of the second string. The second note which you are going to play is with your second finger, which you are going to put at the fourth string, and the third finger which you are going to put at the third string. But pretty easy, huh? So that's your A minor chord. Now when you start fretting a chord, I'd like you to get introduced to a very basic principle. When you fret any note on the guitar, it is always advisable to place your fingers as close to the metal strip as possible. It will give you a more clear sound, and it will be more pleasant. So with that in mind, we fret our first chord, which is called A minor chord. Okay, so this is your A minor chord. When you fret it, I want you to check whether or not you have put it correctly, and whether you are fretting just the notes we want, or whether you are fretting some undesired notes too. The way we do it is very simple. We just pluck each string individually with our fingers. That's it. So I have been putting the A minor chord correctly, since I don't get any muted sound, because if you mute a string which is not desired, the sound will be like, which is not required. Okay, so something like this. You can directly identify that it is not the sound you want. So it is going to be pretty easy. In case you have a question, you can always ask about. You can always ask me in the comments. So with that out of way, you know now how to fret an A minor chord. I'll repeat it once again for you. It's the first finger on the second string